Sorry folks about that. Anyway, we're working on the tail here, and what we end up doing is I have to make this a little bit rounded down here, that it kind of blends in together. There's no sharp edges with this little creature, you know, it's just a matter of blending things in. And their tails are kind of bushy anyway, so it's alright. You know, we have lots to work with here yet. This is so important to use your thumb in this method. It's so much safer, folks. You can get used to carving this way. Oh, please, please get used to it. It is so worth doing it this way. And the pull method is good. I have cut myself on my thumb if you're not careful. You know, if you don't have a thumb guard, get one. It can save you some headaches in the long run here. Okay, see how we're getting that tail out and around? We're going to go back on this side and we're just going to start chopping in and go the other way. A lot of it's controlling your knife, folks. It really is. It's just a matter of learning how to use your knife and, you know, taking small bits and pieces off. Now I'm doing it kind of quickly so I can show you what it's like to carve this thing, but you can take your time. It's not a race, like I said before. We're just going to round that out a little bit towards that tail. Their tails are kind of flat, I saw. We had one on the deck that our cat kind of caught the other day, and he was not, Chipmunk was not a happy camper. We have cats outside here at the farm. They like to play with these things. They had a good old time. This is way too thick yet. Too wide yet. I haven't seen a chipmunk that fat before, but we're going to start trimming some of this off at the bottom. Just like so. And then work it towards the tail. See how we're starting to shape that up there, back in the back there? Just do a portion at a time. Same thing here, we're going to just trim this out. I'm going to try to keep that about the same. See how I'm measuring with my thumb and the blade? See that? You do a lot of measuring with your tools without using a pencil. I like to put that center line in because then we have a real good idea where things go, or and we don't have to worry about if we're taking too much off or not enough on one side. I think that center line is probably the most important reference point that you'll encounter. I'm going to chop some of this off because it's way too thick. We're just going to start trimming some of this off right here. I'm using one of Allen's knives, Allen Goodman. It's a very nice knife for roughing out, as you can see. It's very sharp. Allen, you did a great job on the knife, really. I've always like to have a good knife. There's a few. This one here I got at a show, and I modified it to my own liking, and you know, some of the I use sometimes the other things like my pocket knives and such. You can see his knife really goes through this nicely. No, I don't get money for for recommending Alan's stuff. If it's a good product, folks, I'm going to tell you about it. I have no problem doing that. If it's worthy of using, it's worthy of saying who made it and where to get it. So look up Alan's stuff. He has a website of Alan Goodman, or a YouTube channel. You can get information off of that. And my friend Gene up there down in Texas. He's doing a good series on beginner stuff. So make sure to go check out his stuff. This here, a beginner can certainly give this one a try. I certainly did years ago, and like I said, you can do this as fancy or not as fancy as you like. But yeah, make sure you go check Gene's stuff out. He has some really neat little things. He just did a chain pull, which was really neat. Yeah, he's done a fine job doing some simple projects and for the beginner. Sometimes we get caught up with doing elaborate things, and I too like to do simple things. That's why I enjoy doing that little baby chick and the flower that I just did. It's just much, sometimes the easier things are just more fun to do sometimes. And it doesn't mean that I don't like doing things that are a little more challenging. It's just what people enjoy doing. But make sure to check out his stuff and Alan's stuff there. And this is one of Alan's knives, as you can see. There's the signature on the knife. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to dig this portion out behind his head. We're just going to take this. We're going to round this up a little bit, as you see here. Okay, we're just going to round this up. We'll take more off of here too yet. You know, it's not done yet at all. Okay. Alright folks, it looks like we're running out of time here. I'll just keep this going for a little bit yet. Just keep me... You can see I'm switching from spot to spot because I want to try to make sure I do this so you can, you know, follow as much of this online as you can. See, I'm working towards that center line. That's real important, folks. That's why that center line is important. I can see how far I am with the tail yet, and I did soften this up with that alcohol and water, and that's been a pleasure to work with it. Beginning, man, that was a little tough. Wasn't too sure. I wasn't too sure about going to find another piece of wood to recut it, but that's working out fine. So if you encounter a tough project, tough piece of wood, don't forget to use that alcohol and water. That's great stuff. And this is all cross grain. You can see how nice this knife is going through that. Alright folks, we'll be back.